Hello, welcome to another A-League competition here with we have the Azuk UTE men's competition and the Nugent women's A-League competition. We'll be standing by here as we continue on our season with the men's competition as the women's continue their second to round 3. So sit back and relax. Let's get on with the show. If you're new, welcome aboard. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like if you like enjoying. Much appreciated as we're hitting that notification every A-League update will be coming here. If you have not, check out the latest episodes such as the Christmas pageant, the well known for the National Pharmacy Christmas pageant. It's now just released. Check out right in the in my on the YouTube channel. So a brick wall in Auckland. A statement of in standout in the Melbourne Derby and a dynamite late winning to break a 5-year debut. Well, breaking sprint, that's another word. Round 4 of the Izu UTEA League was not short on drama, and it was set the stage for tonight's the round 5. Welcome back to wrap up this week. We have to ask, are Melbourne City are the real deal? Are they really the real deal? Or was that just the most carries and claim win we have seen all season and early part of the season so far? We're going to break down every key result, look at the monster stone and the burn and get your mindset for the massive picture on this Hawaiian. Let's get into it. What a weekend of football from streaming goals to defensive masterclass. Round 4 gave us so much to talk about. We saw Sydney FC continue their winning ways to Brisbane War, putting on a show at home, and the new boys from Auckland are still defining experience. The table is starting to take in shape and, are starting to shape themselves from the pretending and the gold boot race already on fire. Well, let's get in straight into it. We have the round 4 results. We're going to break down each one. We're also going to the game of the round as well. So here we go. The Melbourne Derby is always a blockbuster in the A-League, and this is the one it's interesting. But this was felt differently. It was a statement that Melbourne City met into Amy Park and walked away with a 2-0 victory that felt more than score line success. This was just a win. It was a tendency of a variety of messaging for the rest of the league. They are the City are the contending the real deal. So it all started almost immediately, just 83 seconds in young gun Matt Captio found the back of the net. 83 seconds, incredible. And from that moment, the City were in control. They were restless. The high tempo attacking football was full display. Melbourne Victory, for their part, had 20 off the ball, which was boosting 65% of positioning, which is pretty accuracy, but they just couldn't make any count. They managed over 20 shots, but only 5 were on target. Out of 20, it's not great, but that's all right. A stat that tells you everything about their frustration. Every time they got a sniff of goal, they were met by a wall in the form of the City goalkeeper, who made a serious brilliant save to keep them out. The second goal came just half time, or when we started the halftime, with Peter Antulunto stealing the 3 points for the City. Totally it. City got it spot on. They shock up the victory's pressure and absolute let on the counter. Their band of young and experience is paying off. And Matt Cup U2, they have a striker in red hot form. Now with 4 goals for the season. For the victory, it was a tough one, sure, but they will absolutely bounce back next week. They play some good football, but they lack of clientele edge in the final third cost them dearly. They needed to solve that problem and fast. The big talking point. The biggest talking point of the round has the incredible start for the Oakland FC. The new boys are on the block, are undefeated after a hard fought 2-1 away win against Wellington Phoenix. In the Battle of New Zealand, it was a new kids who came on top, and they did it with display of defense with that quickly become that raid mark. Auckland has now concern of only one goal in the first four matches, which is the best defense record in the league, which is since they joined in the second year. This is no accident. This is a wall drill displayed side that worked incredible hard for each other. Their midfield is organised. Then they form a solid shepherd for their backline. Very strong. Their solid base allows their attackers to play with freedom and letly they might not be the flashiest team to watch, but man, they are absolutely electric. Steve Kahn has them playing a tough display brand of football that teams are finding almost impossible to break down. Their match against Wellington Phoenix was the perfect example of their style. They were organised, they were reliable, reasonable, and they took their chances when they came. Wellington, even with the home advantage, just can't find a way through the stubborn Auckland defence. The result doesn't give them Auckland begging right sold files. They spot on top of the ladder. They are proving they are the real deal big time early in the season, and their defence structure is the rock that successful is built on. Rapid fire up round. Now for a quick look at the rest of action from round four. Sydney FC made its 3 wins in a row with a 2-0 victory over McFarman FC at Longston Oval. A tasty match was finally broken open by a hard from the bench. McFarn, Tishaw, and in the 76th minute, his first goal in 5 years before Joe Louis sealed the points in stoppage time. It was a deserved win and moved the Sky Blues in second on the ladder. Brisbane were on fire, crashing to a 3-0 win against Newcastle Jet. It was a powerful attacking display from the Raw, who were simply too strong for the Jet side that never really got into that game. Adelaide United picked up a huge 2-0 win against the Western Sydney Warriors. They deployed to life in 5 minutes, floods into the second half with a brilliant individual goal from the star Jockey Luca and a strike from their return hero Craig Goodwin, securing their 3 points for the Reds. For the Warriors, it's expected the frustrating winless runs to 4 games. Out to the west, Central Coast Mariners ran a tough 1-0 win over Perth Glory at HBF Park. It was a frustrating for the home side who dominate for long stretches, but just couldn't get through during the masters of their defence, and a hugely Denny Vigo in a goal, debut goal for the club. What Bailey Bandman was even give to the Marias the victory. Where we come to the round 5 previews. Here we go. Hope you're enjoying this so far. So, with dust settling on round 4, that's now gone and done and dusted. What does all mean? This massive matchup coming our way in round 5. The form guard is set. The battles are lines and drawn, and some teams are absolutely divine for a result. Match to be watched. The match to be watched in round 5 has to be the rematch of last season's semi-finals. Sydney FC take on Melbourne Victory. What a classic rival, and this is one to be watched. And another finalised chapter. Sydney FC are flying with their 3 straight wins, and attacking looks very dangerous with AI Hazin Tio and Patrick Wood leads the line. They playing with a swooping and have shown they can tear teams apart. On the flip side, Melbourne Victory will be training after their debut lock into the city, and they depending to bounce back, but they have to more line in front of goal. If they want to get anything against this original City side, it's going to be frustration, technically clash. When the victory possession game break down Sydney's raw, solid defence, or will Sydney snap attack be matched for the victory defence? They look a bit shaky against City. Based on form, you have to give Sydney FC the edge, especially at home. But you never write off victories in a big game. This could have gone either way. But I'm tipping nil with the Sky Blues with the victory. Well, upset and alert was key to battle. For our upset alarm, key clues eye with this one between Adelaide United and Melbourne City. Adelaide City's coming off with a great win against the Western Sydney Warriors and will be buzzing with confidence, especially at Cooper Stadium. Craig Goodman is back and ready to make huge impact with in Luca John Carr. They have a young striker in streaming form. Melbourne City, even after their fantastic debut, the Bay win against those victories, could they balance here in Adelaide? They travel to Adelaide. They can play a high energy attacking game but leaving them open at the back. Adelaide has weapons. It's drawn at base. They can give it with possession. At home, crowd roaring on them. They are moving with catchable of holding off an incredible upset. The key battle will be in the midfield. If LA can win that fight and get Goodwin on the ball in a dangerous spot, they are the real shot at ending City's unbeaten run. It's a risk take and ask, but being shocked if the Reds can strike a result. Round 5 also kicks off with a Colin. Well, between the Perth Glory and the Western United, both sides are still hunting for their first win of the season. And depending on their campers moving, Western United his strength have the better of this picture. But Perth will be demanded to put on a show for their fans with the home. So there you have it. Now, before we get into it, we do have the Women's A-League, so stay tuned for that as we're here on today's show. So there you have it. Round 4 has shut up with Melbourne City and Oakland FC has struggled there and turned it on the competition while the Sydney FC keeps building momentum. The Golden Boot race is ready to fill it with the City Max Cup 2 and Jets. Alexander Bundatuo currently leading the pack with 4 goals each. The league is unrespectful and entertainment as ever. With round 5, it's shaping up to be another great weekend of football. Beautiful colours. So, and that will make take what? What is your biggest moment for round 4? Was it the City debut, the Dynamite? Is it Auckland's defence masterclass? Or it's Goodwin's Star of Adelaide's goal return? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I read every single one if you do that. Much appreciated. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this because we got more to come. We got the women's football soccer for the A-League. Newton is their sponsor. Make sure you hit that notification. There will be a lot of this during the season. There's so many rounds to come as well. If you enjoy it, break down, make sure, like I said, I just mentioned, thank you for your support. But anyway, moving on to now, we got some fun, more football here on the BJ Show. So, as out doubt, let's now welcome into the to see A-League Women's Round 2 results and round 3 previews. Now, we come 2 weeks into the season and wow, what some great football here for soccer as well here on the BJ Shire Cup way. Let's just get right into it. So it's a 4-goal blue classic. Well, that went right down to the wire. A 5-goal filler that saw a total favourite on the war and a massive opening statement from the reigning premiers. Round two of Liberty A League Women's wasn't just good, it was completely toe up from guard and prove this season is going to be a wild and respectful league. So we're now going to break down every key moment wild of this weekend of football, including the unbelievable clash between Melbourne City and Sydney FC with Brisbane Raw massive upset. Then we look ahead of round three where the blockbusters are just keep coming. Here we go round to the Rat Cup and the Axman. Let's start where the fireworks, the Sky Blues, the Melbourne City versus Sydney FC. The features are also delivering, and with the 2-2 draw, it's on a different level. This was a heavy weight between the reigning premiers, Melbourne City, and the powerful Sydney FC side, and it was played especially like that. A seesawing contest was never teams gave an inch. Melbourne City were in, well, let's just say they got a vulnerable squad. Looks dangerous every time they push forward. With talent that Ray Khan's got complaining, well, let's just say very good in the back line. And Holly McNamara looking to create some collection big chunks of the game. But Sydney FC was just a simple wetless. They showed that kind of grief and define their clubs every time City seems to put up. Sydney finds an answer. It's technically a class match with Sydney City's structured attack, pulling on the release of Sydney's defence led by Captain Nat Toby. The game ended 2-2, and honestly, a draw felt far from a match nearly a side deserved to lose. It was a showcase that absolute pack of the league. Technically, skills were fantastic, smart moves, and edge of your seat. Drama, this is the biggest takeaway. These two are without a doubt the teams to beat, the hardest. The now for the shock of the round. Brisbane more offending Melbourne victory 3-2. Not many would have seen this result, especially West Victory being one of the preseason total favourites. But Brisbane More playing with a firing inspiring delivered to perform that sent a tone through the league. This wasn't a flake that this deserved hard fought victory built on chemistry finishing non-stop pressure. Going into the match, all eyes on the victory star down the lineup. Victor was like Glennon, Bunning, and Kylie Monson in defence, creating spot with Raina Pauling in the midfield. But the Brisbane with a squad of leading experience and excited young talent just put out the hazard of the team. The raw attacking was firing all cylinders and capitalised on their chances to bring for the victory. This is huge, a big wake up call. The Conline's 3 goals is a major point of the coach Jeff Hawkins. It's proved having a great team on paper means nothing if you can't match the other teams. Hunting on the day. For the Brisbane, this is a season defining win. It proves they can go toe to toe with a giant and come on top. A statement. Let's quickly round up with the other results for round two. Perth Glory laid down a marker with a classical 3-1 win over Sydney Warriors. Sydney Warriors. Perth has planned and put together a strong squad with players like Izzy Dunton, Georgina Cass, Tina running the show in the midfield, and they Look, I organise and label 3-1 scoreline and lightning, performing that puts the rest of the league on notice that Perth is a serious contender this year. It's a result that gets you thinking that the premiers of Melbourne City took down the Central Coast Mariners a 2-1 after a tough opening round. This was exactly that what the Mariners didn't need for the city to come back up, big blue performance with another win to show their quality. For the Mariners, starting their campaign with a loss proves that how tough this league is. Meanwhile, Adelaide United was left stunned at home with a felt 2-0 to the Newcastle Jets. That was one stunned for the Adelaide. They got quality players like Chelsea, Don Barner, and Izzy Houston, but stunning to shut on to your own turf is a tough call to shallow, and they be demanding to bounce back for Newcastle. What way to start the season? A massive 3 points on the road. And finally, the Wellington Phoenix and Canberra United play out a 1-all draw. The Phoenix are always a tough opponent at home, and they shown well reliable of once again Canberra boost the Michelle Heyman up front was probably seen a point guarantee on the road, but both teams were equal to turn their draws into wins. Mind video transaction. So, with the ladder already looking spiced and no team was left perfect records after just 2 rounds, what does all this mean for round 3? Some teams are looking to revive, others are just looking to build momentum, and a few are just depending to get their season and probably get their season back on track. Let's get into let's just find out the reviews and previews of what's going to happen. So that's what we're up to. Fine. First up, we guarantee a blockbuster between the Melbourne Victory versus Perth Glory. This isn't just a big game. It's a massive test for both chapters for the club. Victory are coming off a 3-2 victory over the Raw, over those Brisbane Roars. They will be at home and they will be absolute ventilating, expecting a relegation. That is the big question for them, and how defence, which lock on the special village will home that cannot afford to be open that against a team like Perth. On the other side, you have a Perth Glory side that just started at home. 3 goals against the Warriors are riding high. The confidence are scoring and they travel to Melbourne with absolute no fear. The key matchup will how the victory count attack. They lead like they Rachel Law bounced back against the Perth side that looked solid. Players of to watch for victory. I'm looking at Alex Harlan. When victory need a magic, she's official that the one is provided. They need her carrying an eye for a goal more than ever. Players to watch for Perth to keep an eye on is Susie Parkinson Ham. She is a dynamite and tricky attack who can create something without something nothing. And she has the victory backline real problems. So this is an interesting call. Victory, depending for a win at home, is a powerful momentum, but Perth is have more momentum. I'm going to lead into a 2-2 draw and generally a draw. Next is the Fan City battle between two and good teams in great form. Sydney FC and Brisbane Roar. Sydney FC are flying extremely after their incredible 2-2 draw against Melbourne City, where they showed in case cowards attack looking dangerous and they be buzzing. But they have a challenge. They up against the giant killer Brisbane Roar, who are flesh of incredible win against the Melbourne Victory. The technical question is, can Sydney defence hold up at the high energy, confident attack of Brisbane Roar that will be provided and prove that when the time comes? Last week, with no break, this match pits Sydney through a big momentum against the Brisbane Roar. The player to watch is from Sydney FC, is McCarthy. Mackenzie Hawk is by her ability to find and tempo the midfield will be absolutely essential to stop Brisbane from playing her high energy. Now the Brisbane Roars players is Cam Can Ya top. The Matilda's venture is a hot and soul form of the midfield. Her rate and quality on the ball could not be defended of the maker. So I think Brisbane will absolutely take and differently to Sydney's quality and a home advantage should see them through. So I'm predicting a 2-1 victory for Sydney FC, but the battle will be on. Now, this massive strike at the other end of the table, the Adelaide United and Canberra United. Both teams are searching for their current to set their first win of the season. Adelaide United coming off a 2-0 defence at home, and boy, very disappointed. Still cannot afford to drop points. At home again, that's the big question. The team is where will the goals come from? They be looking to players like Chelsea Durburner to find their scoring touch. Canberra, on the other hand, earn a solid point away from home. They are to build around the legendary Michelle Hammond and their game plan is official simple. Get the ball to her in dangerous areas. The key battle will be in the midfield. Can Adelaide control possession and solve the Canberra's forwards of survive? The Adelaide United player is Isabel Hagson. The captain will need to lead example and provide the attacking drive from the wings that missing last week. But the Canberra United player is Nankono Shakan. The midfield is in Quaddle Hunt from the Canberra, and her absolute ability to link the defence and attack will be vengeance they want to sneak a win on the road. So Adelaide Simple has to win this game, playing at home after a loss with pressure is all on the line. I think they will. I think they'll get a 1-0 and it will be in the last guy on the minute. Then we have the final game for the round and for the predictions with Wellington Fitness take on Western Sydney Warriors. Wellington Fitness back on home. They are nestling the beat that won or draw West Canberra. Shown that trouble, reliable. They net have a spirit that can trouble any team in the league, especially on their home turf. They face a Warriors side that is depending to bounce back from a 3-1 loss against Perth. The key for them will be getting their star forward, Sophie Hartley, more individual, but travelling to New Zealand and breaking down a solid born Phoenix side is one of the toughest tasks in the A-League. Players from Wellington is Mackenzie Barry. The centre defence is turned to the Wellington defence. Stewart and her debut with Sophie Hahn in is the key of the match. For the Wanderers, now Amy Harrison as the captain she needs to reliable her team and control the midfield to give them finding a massive chance of sliding the home crowd. So my predictions is hard to beat against the Phoenix at home. I'm predicting a tough 2-1 victory for the Wellington Phoenix. That's seeing them knock on to get the well for the fans, and I think it will continue here. Well, there you have it. Round 2 is complete. Where's all the results? Round 3 is locked in. What do you think? Comment down below. What is your favourite moment so far for the Ninja A-League Women's competition so far, and as well the other competition? And much appreciate. Make sure you give us a like if you absolutely love today's show. As well, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Much appreciate. All right, thank you so much. I much appreciate for your support, and make sure we are hitting one. We are one step close as we speak. We are over a 100 minus 100 subscribers to get to that 1K goal. We are currently on 906 if I got that complete correction. So make sure that, hopefully you enjoyed and get that correction information. 906 at the time I record this episode. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you soon. BJ shows out. Bye.